Okay, so first of all, thank you for being here and checking in. I'm about to start some juicing with some kale. I've got beautiful cilantro, lots of Italian parsley, beautiful Italian parsley that's soaking. I've got pineapple, grapefruit, apples, and tangerines. Okay, so that's going to go into a juice. I'm going to do that on the Sana Supreme juicer over here. I will assemble that afterward. And while I do that, I'm simply going to play some drumming sounds that are empowering. I hope that they're something you might find interesting here, even in simply hearing the sounds to chill out. Okay, and that's it. Thanks very much for being here. Here we go. This is Byron Metcalf, Heart Warriors. this. I just paused, and now I finished the pineapple. I'm going to try to keep going here with the grapefruits.
Aaron and Betsy, thank you for welcoming us into your home. Yeah, you guys are glowing. You look incredible. Over 10 years on this lifestyle, and truly like a shining example.
That's Gillian Berry.
So much to unpack in this interview. I was just saying too, I think they landed a plane for you once in the past. You had like health problems and anxiety before living this lifestyle. Yeah. So let's get into it. How are you guys?
Great.
Great now.
Yeah, better now than definitely that day. But no, we feel great. We just had some fruit. You're literally seeing how we live on a daily basis in our home. It's fun. We feel so good.
Yeah, so your journey first started with 40 days no meat, right? And then here we are 10 years later, so take us through what happened.
Yeah, I guess taking it back to college, that's honestly when we both kind of derailed. We were not in each other's spheres at this point, but growing up in high school, my mom was very much like all about juicing and smoothies, I think kind of ahead of her time, but at the same time, I was allowed to eat whatever I wanted to eat, a lot of Happy Meals and fast food and things like that too. So very much just like a little bit of everything, typical standard American diet. And that was great. And fast forward to college, all of a sudden, no longer in sports, no longer had the curfew. It was pretty much a free for all, but I didn't even know how to, boil a pot of water, let alone make a whole meal.
Yeah.
So it was like a steady diet of whatever could pop in the microwave, the carton of milk in my mini fridge in my dorm, and the beef jerky, and just like snacky type stuff, and then staying out late and all hours of the night turned into a lot of partying and just things that were very out of character for me, honestly, coming from a place where I was top 3% of my class. And
Okay, so that's just happened to be there after that video. That's a video of a couple that talk about going plant-based and recovering from all kinds of problems that they had. But what I'll do, if I can, anyway, we'll leave it at that for now. So I'll just review here. I've got the fruits that I'm getting ready for juicing. Okay, so I'll put this on pause for a moment. So I'm continuing to get on with the preparation here, and I just wanted to mention that it's extremely important to be mindful, conscientious, and clean when in the kitchen. You want to really keep your eye on what you're doing for safety, and you also want to pay attention to the produce and see that everything is clean, that there's no the bruises or any rot. You want to remove those pieces from any of the produce, those portions if they are there. You definitely don't want to introduce that stuff into the body. And right. Excuse me, I have the distiller. I had turned it back on. We have a well here, and I found out about distillers many years ago. I've tried all the different forms. Well, not all. You can never try everything, but I tried many different forms of water purification that are out there. The higher end stuff on the market, and finally I landed on having a couple of countertop distillers in the house, and it's just incredible how the prices have gone down on them, and they're easy to use. They're portable if you have to go traveling. You can take one with you in your suitcase or in your vehicle and have distilled water instead of chemical, fluoridated, chlorinated, steroid-filled, antibiotic-filled, hormone-filled, recycled poop and pee water. Yeah, you can, or maybe very mineralized water, or maybe contaminated with, you ever see the film Gasland? Go check it out, the documentary Gasland. There was a military base about an hour away from here years back that I had heard of at that time. Had, they're not accountable to anybody other than their own agenda, the military. And they had contaminated the groundwater by dumping a bunch of stuff into the ground, as they do. So that travels. What is in the water, in the water table here? I don't know, beats me. But when I put it through the distiller, I can see what's remaining, what's left. And I've been to other places. Every place has different remnants that are left in the distiller to show you what's left behind. And you get a sense of the odor, the smell, the texture, the buildup in the machine as to what's in the water. And I can definitely say that I'm glad we're distilling the water here, because I definitely don't want that crap in my body. Whatever I don't take care of, the body's going to have to deal with the consequences. So I try to be a little more conscientious about that these days. So now I'm going to assemble the distiller that you can see right over here. That's the Santa Supreme distiller. I've got the produce that's ready and being cleaned. What I'll do is I can use this little sieve in a sense, just to drain off the I had some food grade hydrogen peroxide that I put in with the greens that just cleans everything and revitalizes and refreshes, as you can see here, and then give everything a really good rinse again before I juice it, before I juice these items. Beautiful greens, right? And I have to say the water looks pretty crappy, what's left behind. So there's a lot of junk that comes off the greens. That's why I don't only rinse quickly under the tap. I actually like to soak the greens. And they also absorb, even though this water is well water and, you know, and it's better than most places, I still, you know, it's good to soak the greens in this water, and that absorbs a fresh water from the earth. And I have no idea of knowing what water these greens were raised on, but the plants do act as a filtration. They do filter. And this is the wastewater that goes back down into our septic, private septic, and into the groundwater here. There was quite a lot of soil on that as well. That's a good sign. I see sand and sand that was in the water from the plants. So that means they were growing those somehow with some natural earthy things. Okay. So I've got the juicer here to assemble. That's the main chamber. I'm using here the single auger. I've got a filter that's good for this juice. Okay, and it's got a little cap that goes on the end, as you see there. And yeah, that's about it. So sometimes if it gets squeaky, I put some coconut oil on the parts just to high grade ingestible style coconut oil. Anyhow, let's see how this works today. Okay. Then I bring my lid over by the juicer to make that go faster. And then I start juicing. Just like, oh, I usually put a basket here. This nice little fine mesh basket with a sieve. I put that over here to collect the excess waste. That's how I do it. Okay. So then I just start feeding the juicer. And then the juicer begins to squeeze. As you see, I'm doing quite a bit. So to facilitate the process for the filter, I like to filter it to get any of the extra fiber out, and that will go through this mesh bag for me to do that. So rather than boring you with the details of this, I will pause for just a moment and I will be back. Okay, so it's been about a minute or so. I'll just pause the juicer for a moment and I'll show you the beautiful color. Okay, I didn't put the green in here. I just wanted to show you, let's say you were to make a quick, this is pineapple, grapefruit, tangerine, and apple. See how beautiful that is? That's how easy this process is. Now I'm going to do, like as you see, I have quite a lot of juicing here to do. I'm going to do that with the greens, and I'll show you after what that looks like with the greens. I'll show you what it looks like just putting the greens through the machine. So this is some cilantro, you see. Just put that through the chute. And literally goes right through. I have it on the high setting just to speed things up. There's 4 settings on this juicer. So here's some kale. Okay, that goes right through. There you go. Of Italian parsley and a little bit of kale in there too. Just like to show you how potent that is. See that color? You can't buy that in a capsule. You can't buy that in a pill. So then when I filter, I like to put it into that bag there. So we'll add that after. Okay, so where I'm at now, I've paused the juicer again. I'm just going to give you a glimpse. I've got this nice juice here that goes into the filter bag. And we've got more juice. More juice. So I'm at about 3 liters of juice right now. And as you see, I still have, from that vegetable and fruit prep, I still have quite a bit left to go. I'll pause again and I'll be back. Okay, so the juicer is just finishing up pressing that last little bit of fruit and vegetable matter in the chute, and as I've got a couple more of these containers of juice that have been extracted, and as you see here, so I'm going to go ahead and filter that. jars for the juice. It's as simple as allowing the juice to drain from the mesh bag into the container. That leaves behind the pulp. You know, when you drink this mixture of goodness, very rapidly, this, for the most part, will get absorbed very quickly. Unless the body is in some kind of shutdown that the body can do when the body is overwhelmed by toxins or just healing, you know, something. Sometimes fasting is required. Sometimes juicing is good. Sometimes eating the right things is good, and that depends on the person. It depends on what the body is doing. Everyone is an individual, so it's not the same for everyone. So that's it. There's just a little bit of pulp left. That's there. I'll take that out to the garden, and there's the pulp from the juicer that will be composted, and there are literally teams of little creepy crawlies out there that are ready to have this as their meal. They live in the compost pile. So then I pour this out here into the jars. So these are half-gallon jars, glass jars. Each one is half-gallon, so that's just over a gallon of juice. And I do this a number of times a day, depending on what's required, because I do aim for my husband and I to have at least 5 to 7 quarts of minimum of 4 if you know, timing and not feeling well or whatever. Between 4 to 7, 8 quarts of juice a day. You know, if it's very hot and we're making watermelon juice or cucumber juice or romaine lettuce juice mixed with other light things. They don't all have to be heavy juices. But this is beautiful juice, as you can see. How beautiful that is. So I say grace, I make prayer in my own way, in gratitude to our divine creator for providing such beautiful fruits and vegetables, and the equipment and the intelligence, the capacity and the energy to recover my my life in this way, and to nourish both my husband and myself. So thank you very much for being here. Have a great day. Bye.